A couple of days ago, I experienced something that was not only really strange, but something that was really uncomfortable. And the reason I want to make this video is because I know a lot of you that's watching this video, you're dealing with the same thing and probably had the exact same emotions that I'm having right now. So first up, let me explain what happened real quick, and then we'll talk about why these companies need to stop doing what they're doing and why we need to stop letting them do it to us. So a few days ago, I was hungry, and I haven't had a Whopper for a long time, and I get it, fast food's bad and it's garbage and this, that, but I just want a Whopper sometimes. So I pulled up to the microphone and I was getting ready to place my order, and on the other end was a very, very polite lady. Now, not all the time do you get the nicest people taking your order at the drive-thru, and I get it, they hate their jobs sometimes, or they gotta deal with customers, and that's not always great. Most of the time they're rude though. I'm fine with it as long as my food's okay. That said, this lady was the opposite. She was great. She was super nice. How can I help you? Would you like extra dipping sauce? It just seemed like she was a happy person. So in return, I was happy back. Yeah, sure, I'll take the barbecue sauce or the sweet and sour or whatever you got. And I sat there and I actually said to myself, well, you don't usually get that a lot in these drive-thrus, so it was nice to see it. But then it happened. The question that really drove a wedge between the newfound relationship that I had with this restaurant worker. Would you like to donate $1 to children's charity? Now, I know you get this as well. No matter what restaurant you go to, no matter what drive-thru, what store, Walmart, wherever, you're always getting asked to donate to charity. And I used to do this a lot. I would always give $1 or $2, whatever they would ask, and I would donate it because I didn't want to be the person that didn't donate to charity. I'll tell you why that's not a good idea here in a bit, but I politely said, no, thank you. She went silent on the other end. She asked again, excuse me, would you like to donate $1 to this child charity? And again, politely, I said, no, thank you. And then she sort of went silent. And after a few seconds, she asked me, why wouldn't you want to donate to a charity for children? I just said, ma'am, no, thank you. Silence again, and then she asked me to pull forward. Now, I could sense there was some hostility in her voice, and I felt kind of uncomfortable pulling to the next window, but I did. And from being the nice lady that I couldn't wait to meet and say thank you for the awesome service, which I do a lot. If you give me good service, I'm gonna let you know. I pulled up and found the rudest lady I've ever experienced at a drive-thru. When I got to the window, she asked me again, you sure you don't want to donate $1 to a children's charity? I said, ma'am, no thank you. And after I said that, she went completely silent. She wouldn't even look at me. She would take my food and hand it out to me like this, and I would say thank you, and she would ignore me, and then the window would slam. And then the window would open and she would give me my bag and I said, thank you, have a great night. And she slammed the window again on me. Now I know why she didn't like me after I told her no. It's because she figured here's a man that doesn't like children. I mean, he's not willing to part with a simple $1 to help feed the child. Well, what good is he? And I don't want anything to do with that. So really, she does have a good heart. However, she doesn't really realize the greediness that goes on behind these corporations and their charities. Let me explain. You see, there's a thing that nobody really talks about when you're talking about charity in all of these stores. That is, your money's not always going where you think it is. So this all started out pretty small. Back in the late 90s and early 2000s, you see an occasional donation jar for a local children's hospital or something else locally, but real money for real causes. And then you fast forward to now, and every single register, touchscreen, drive-thru, and self-checkout wants a piece of your heart in the form of spare change. It's called point of sale fundraising, and it has exploded. In 2023 alone, the checkout campaigns raised over $750 million in the US. Sounds amazing, right? Until you realize that the companies themselves barely donated a dime. They just collected all of your money and then turned around and took the credit for it. And what do I mean by they took the credit? Well, the tax loophole that nobody really talks about. You see, when you donate money and you go to do your taxes at the end of the year and you state that you donated money, you get to write that money off. And most of the time when you donate to the local food bank or give money to your local fire department, they'll give you a receipt that you can take to the tax man or lady and you can use that to write off on your taxes. But when you donate through a store or a drive-thru, you don't get the tax deduction. The company does. Yeah, that's right. You hand over $1, they send it in, and the receipt shows their name on the donation. They write it off as if they made the charitable gift. So now they look generous, save money on their taxes, and get to brag in commercials. All using your wallet, and you can't even claim it on your tax because you never got a receipt. It's like somebody took your tools, used them to build a shed, and they got paid for it. You got nothing. So there's three main reasons why stores and drive-thrus push these donation prompts. Number one is free PR. They get to say, we raised $10 million for children's cancer research. Sounds awesome, right? Except for 99% of that money came out of the customers, not the company itself. Number 2 is customer loyalty. Psychology plays a big role here. When people donate through a company, they associate with that brand. They're doing good, which means you're more likely to go back again and again and again. Number 3, it costs them absolutely nothing. They don't pay staff to do charity work, they just program the cash register. The software even tracks the stores that raise the most amount of money, so the managers can pressure cashiers to push harder. It's like charity has become a competition. I talked to a cashier one time that told me that their managers actually graded them on how many customers they got to round up. So here's where things get a little messy. Not all of these charity partners are 100% shady. Some are legitimate, like Ronald McDonald House or St. Jude's. And I gotta be honest with you, the give $1 for charity at the Wendy's restaurant, you get 5 Frosties in return, I don't mind that so much. I actually feel that Wendy's is putting a little bit of effort into doing the charity rather than just asking you for nothing without anything in return. The problem, however, are the middlemen, the for-profit fundraising companies that take a cut of every donation. That $1 for children in need might become 70 cents after fees, branding costs, or campaign management. By the time the charity sees the money, a chunk has already been taken out and eaten by the machine that runs the campaign. And if the company uses your donation to fund the corporate foundation, well, that's even murkier, muddier water. It's technically still their money, just filtered through a charitable arm they control. And if you're wondering why you're seeing this everywhere now, it's because everybody's doing it. The companies that actually make the machines that these companies use have these options built right in. It's just like tipping. Have you ever went and bought something and you swipe your card and it was 15% tip for this, 10% tip for this? It's everywhere. Yeah, it's a built-in donation option now on these machines. It takes zero effort for a store to toggle these features on or off. And when they toggle it on, boom, instant philanthropy. And because people are more cautious about corporations, these companies are desperate to show they care about something. So instead of paying better wages or lowering prices, they push round-up charity to make you feel warm and fuzzy about spending money there. It's basically emotional marketing disguised as kindness. It gets a bit sneaky. This isn't just about money, it's about psychiatry. When you're standing at a checkout, especially with people behind you, the company knows that you don't want to look selfish. You're basically guilted into pressing yes or donating that dollar. You donate because you don't want to look like a jerk, not because you were planning to give in the first place. That's called social pressure marketing, and companies know it works like magic. Every beep at the register is basically a behavioral experiment, and you, my friend, are the test subject. Now, I'm sure I'm going to get a few people in the comment section stating that, well, you're just ranting on and you should donate to charity. And you should. I'm not saying not to donate to charity. Just do it directly. If you want to help St. Jude's or your local food bank, just write a check. Go to their website. That way you know 100% of the money you're giving goes to where you intended to go. And if you want to get that tax credit, well, now you can, not some billion-dollar burger chain. Corporate giving isn't evil, it's just strategic. And once you realize that, you can make smarter choices about who's really helping and who's really just collecting credit. So just remember, the next time that screen flashes, would you like to donate $1? Remember that you're not always donating to the charity. You're donating to their image, to their bottom dollar. You know, doing good is one thing, but pretending to do good with somebody else's money, that's a whole different story. But I really want to know what you think. Leave me a comment in the comment section below. How do you feel about donating your money or rounding up every time you go to a store, a drive-thru, fast food restaurant? Let me know in the comment section. We'll be back with more videos soon.